An international civil society organization, International Alert, has developed a community-centered model designed to enhance peace-building efforts of stakeholders throughout participatory engagement of selected communities. The country director, International Alert, Dr. Paul Nyulaku-Bemshima, while addressing newsmen at an event in Abuja, highlighted the model's provision for communities to set their priorities and demand for dialogue with state and local authorities to address different local issues. He says the model would also deploy alternative dispute resolution as a way of resolving conflict locally.
Sustainability for us is the ability, the communities have, the capacity we have strengthened in all the communities for taking things forward. And as you can hear, most of the traditional leaders have mentioned that this was really invaluable, and they now very well understand how to engage, how to manage disputes. At the state level also, in Kaduna, we have worked with the multi-door courthouse in Kaduna to train communities to increase awareness about use of alternative dispute resolution to address conflicts. Zamfara doesn't have a multi-door courthouse, but through this project, they have now decided to develop a bill to establish a multi-door courthouse, which is their own effort really to increase access to justice for people who are affected by conflict. Many states also would learn from this project, because when we had peer learning sessions, we bring states who have implemented multi-door courthouses and also have established peace commissions. So most of the states where we have implemented are also seeing the need for establishing peace commissions. These are commissions that will help government policy respond to instability, respond to insecurity. Scale of insecurity that we see and the efforts at addressing them, really it's not on a balance. You can't put that on a balance, because the efforts we have put in place through this project is only in 2 states and even 2 local governments in those states. So to have impact, you need to scale up, and so that's why we have made lots of effort engaging with governments so that they expand some of these initiatives, to be at scale, to reduce these issues. But you never come to a point where society is free of conflict. What we don't want is violence, where people kill, destroy property. But peace is something you continue to work at. So there's no society in the world that is free of conflict. But what we see with insecurity and violence is what we are worried about. And so we continue to empower governments and communities to deal with these issues when conflicts emerge, to address it using non-adversarial means, peaceful means, sitting down together, dialoguing together, and resolving these issues.
The most important thing from this project was the stability plans, access to justice and stability plans that they were able to work with communities to come up with. But again, for us, funding is never forever. It ends at some point. And the good thing that they were able to do was to strengthen the capacities of stakeholders at community level and individuals, as well as groups and community-based organizations, to be able to continue with the work that they have done. For us, that is the most important thing, because it doesn't make any sense to go into a community and start a project and implement activities that will then die off at the end of the life cycle of the project. So, but with the approach that they have used, it means that with or without the presence of the organization at the communities, stakeholders, community members, and the groups that they have strengthened within these spaces will be able to continue with the good work that they are doing.
The project is geared to promote women, peace and security using stability, access to justice, and accountability to ensure women and girls' voice are clearly heard through communal engagement dialogue forums, where we try to minimize patriarchal domination. Principles of do no harm is clearly on the project, and we believe clearly on conflict sensitivity. So that's why I mentioned patriarchal domination. You cannot remove patriarchal domination without addressing cultural elements. And one of those factors that inhibit women's voices is access to education, access to justice. Now that they have strong voices and the community leadership have strong capability and understand the implication of denying women access to services and justice processes, has further reduced the barrier that undermine women participation in communal governance. So now women are now part of communal governance. Their voice have been heard and be listened to. First is to be heard, now be listened to, and now having access to education is a great pathway for promoting WPS principles of 1325.
Access to justice, it's really made a lot of impact, particularly in building the informal justice sector, that is training traditional rulers to handle alternative dispute resolution, to settle disputes and reach reconciliation and settled agreements amongst themselves by employing negotiation, mediation, and other mechanisms to settle their disputes. So it has made a lot of impact. A lot of them have also been trained on the use of these mechanisms to settle these disputes. In the multi-door courthouse, we have what we call restorative justice. That's where we use alternative dispute resolution to settle compoundable cases, compoundable offenses, minor offenses, offenses that ordinarily will attract very simple conviction terms. So we use ADR to settle such offenses, particularly on issues of husband and wife, issues of a man not giving his wife food. You know, ordinarily that is an offense, but it's something that ADR can actually sort out. It's something that we can sort out using restorative justice. Somebody picks somebody's property and is ready to return it and make amends. That's what we do with restorative justice.